thank you for checking out the Extended Branch Masonic Podcast, a show that is aimed at demystifying the fraternal and business aspects of Freemasonry. I am Worshipful Brother Andrew Zatello, past master of Olive Branch Lodge number 16. With me tonight, as always, is Brother Billy Bilbo.
Hi.
And Brother Kevin Cotter.
Hey, how you doing?
Society of King Solomon.
Yeah, what's that?
We'll talk about that in a bit.
We'll get there.
Fellow Kevo.
We're not throwing out any titles yet.
Not yet.
No.
As always, the disclaimer, the thoughts and opinions on this podcast are of the host's own imagination and mind, and do not reflect any grand jurisdiction's rulings or thoughts of their own. We make stuff up. We're not trying to get in trouble.
It's true.
That's right.
Yeah.
So if you like it, stick around. Let's see. So, guys,
Hi.
it's been a while,
It's been been a very long time.
And
It's
we
been a minute,
apologize.
as the kids say.
as
Yeah.
the kids say, yes.
Yeah, this is true. So, I guess I should go first. Yeah, it's my fault.
Oh yeah, Kev is the most busy of all of us. Let
So
him
listen,
blast it.
if there was a word that I would, I'm trying not to use because it's, everybody's busy, but I'm trying not to use that word. But I've been kind of busy.
You've been whelmed.
Inundated.
Listen,
Yeah.
everything is great. I couldn't be happier about things going on at home and things going on at school and things going on at school.
Yes.
That I've gone. I've gone on. I'm still taking classes and
Forever a
further.
student.
This
furthering
maniac
my
is going for his
education.
PhD.
Forever
No,
a student.
hold on.
Hold on.
Not a PhD.
Yeah, he talked to me
Oh,
about this.
oh.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
So in music, a PhD is available.
Okay.
Right, but this one is called a DMA. It's Doctor of Musical Arts.
Oh, I'm
And
sorry.
Generally, those are performance-based degrees.
Okay.
So you may find somebody who's a trumpet professor, or they've got an extended degree in, oboe or something like that. They, inevitably, depending upon the school they went to, is probably a DMA. But the people who are musicologists, like music historians and things like that.
Gotcha.
Those are
Okay.
PhD degrees. Sometimes music ed is a PhD degree.
Okay.
Composition.
Something that would be a teaching profession. Something that you're not so much
Yeah,
a performance profession, a more
Yeah, it has to do with
clerical.
So like the PhD in the humanities is like you're contributing something new to the work.
Mm-hmm.
Right, you're advancing the subject area as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to work that hard.
At least you're honest.
So my degree, I could not be happier. I'm working with really wonderful people, Rutgers University, and the degree is in conducting, which is my great love and passion. So thanks for that. Thanks for the patience. Thanks for people who are listening because.
Yeah, thanks for coming back.
I can't tell you how consciously this has been on my mind for the last God knows how many months.
We have a group chat, and we do occasionally get the message from Kevin saying, "Hey guys, I'm still alive."
So
I need a break.
So if you're still listening, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, Billy, you go next.
All right, let me go next. Not quite as eventful as Kevin has been up to. Let's see, working as per normal. Masonically, I'm not 100% remember where I was when we last spoke, but as of this year, as of December, yeah, I'm now officially the junior warden at Olive Branch. That is an officially elected position, the first of the three.
Yep,
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm planning a trip somewhere to be revealed at a later time for my lodge.
Yes, we need to
Um,
talk about this off mic.
yeah. Let's see what else. I'm leaving for Texas tomorrow to learn a new machine for work.
Texas. Oh, geez.
My
All
first.
right, I won't let the Texas Masons know.
So when I said, "Hey, do you want to do this?" Why did you say yes? You should be packing right now.
Oh, I'm only going for 4 days.
Yeah, but
All he needs is like a
Billy.
ShopRite bag.
Oh no, I wear a uniform every day, Kevin. I pack 2 uniforms and then
right.
shorts and I'll I'm not leaving
nothing.
until 2.
I look after you, Billy. That's
Thank
all
you.
it is.
I appreciate it. It's my first time on a plane since 2019.
I thought you were going to say it was your first
Yeah.
time on a
No,
plane.
no.
Oh
Wow.
my God,
Wow.
Billy, just understand.
Oh, no.
that you're such a genuine person that I would not put that past you. And that would be the
He's
most
driving to
adorable
Texas.
thing.
Ooh, I thought about it. I did a train.
That's a
I'm going
day,
to get
isn't
to
it?
visit the pilot. I'm going to get some
I'm gonna get
wings.
some wings. I got my wings in the 80s. I went to Disney World and got my wings.
This is so
I thought about taking the train, but it's so expensive.
Oh,
I
man.
got yelled at. My boss
Really?
yelled at me. Yeah, they were like, it's $200 cheaper for a plane. Just take the plane. And they got me a direct flight because I'm kind of a
It's like 2 hours, right?
4.
4? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, 4 hours, 7 minutes. It's not, whatever. My first time in Texas. I'm excited to see Texas, I guess. I don't
What area?
Farmers Branch, about an hour south of Dallas.
Okay, I'll have to find out how close that is to Lubbock, and if you're close to there, I'll send you to some of the TikTok Masons that I've been talking to.
Let's see, what else have I been up to? I'm a gamer. I've been playing lots of video games. Holidays were all right. I was sick. I was like super sick for Christmas and New Year, so that kind of sucked. But otherwise, yeah, that's it. I told you I was kind of boring. You know, just doing this stuff. And the normal everyday life stuff.
I mean, the end of the year is always tough, no
Yeah.
matter who you are. From Thanksgiving all the way through to New Year's, it's
Yeah.
just jam-packed with, if nothing else, family planning and,
Oh my God,
getting
planning,
the holidays
planning.
together and
Yeah.
just stuff, crap like that.
What about you there, Andrew?
Well, I'm still a past master. I am no longer an officer of Olive Branch Lodge.
Yeah, how many years did you spend in the chairs?
Altogether, 7 years.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
pretty much as soon as I was raised a Master Mason, I was put into a chair.
Well, that was it, because you
And-
and I were stewards together.
Yes, we were.
And now we're much older.
So let's see. I did.
And somehow I was the one who went more gray than you did.
Well,
good
you
for
also
you,
have
Worshipful
more,
sir.
you have other stressors that I didn't have. Yeah, after 7 years, I am officially out of the line. I am still in a committee. I'm part of the finance committee.
Yeah.
So yay, I get to play with money now. Not really, but yeah, I get to just
Mason
kind of relax.
bucks.
I get to be either Statler or Waldorf over on the side,
That's the best.
and get to say that that's not how they did it in my year.
Yeah. Harumph.
Yeah.
Is
Absolutely.
it not how we
Give
did
us-
it in
give
your year?
us-
I think we did a pretty good job in your year.
I would
Give us
hope.
a well-earned harumph.
Harumph.
Give the governor a rub.
Harumph. I am actually doing a lot over on TikTok, as much as people may laugh about that and say that it's nothing more than a dancing app. I've connected with a bunch of other Masons from around the world, quite literally.
Yeah.
Obviously, the most being here in America, but I've met brothers from New Zealand. I've met brothers from actually some from South Africa, and from England. Because that's
Right.
the next biggest Mason area. And yeah, I've just revamped my channel a little bit. Now I'm kind of really hyper focusing on I guess you'd say the seriousness of Freemasonry. Like, these are the things that actually happened, not the more esoteric aspects of like, hey, maybe we're connected to the Templars. No.
Yeah, so let's do the whole thing. So give us a plug. What's your
Yeah.
TikTok channel?
That's
My,
true.
as always, my username on pretty much every platform is @metal_Drew. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok and all that stuff. And yeah, the last 3 videos that I uploaded were where the conspiracy theories come from.
Right.
Started with the papal bull, Inimentius. Then it went to the Illuminati. I was going down the timeline, and according to the timeline, after the papal bull, the Illuminati was formed, and of course that spurred all kinds of conspiracies. And then the Morgan affair, and the next one on the list is the Taxel hoax,
Yeah.
which I have to.
Yeah, the greatest hits.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I mean, there's always the smaller little things like Blavatsky and A.A. Bailey, and even Steiner.
Sure.
People like that, and hell, even Manly P. Hall, brother Manly P. Hall, because the stuff he wrote was before he was a Mason, and he made a lot of.
Was that the Red Door?
No, Manly P. Hall was Secret Teachings.
Secret Teacher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
throwback to Brother Jim's episode with us.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Like he wrote that book before he was a Mason,
Yeah.
and as cool as it is to read it and see some of the things in it, you have to take it with a heavy grain of rock salt, and and realized that he wrote it before he was a
Speculation.
Mason, B, speculation, C, theosophy.
Yeah. Right.
You know, and like a lot of pseudo history, a lot of pseudoscience. You know, he was a Shakespearean conspiracy writer, thinking that Shakespeare wasn't an actual person; it was either a group of people. He specifically thinks it was Sir Francis Bacon.
Right.
That was actually Shakespeare.
So to go back to the channel for a second.
Okay.
You have been at this now for almost 2 years.
A year and a half, maybe.
Okay. So like you're getting stuff done in 2 minutes or less.
Yeah.
That's so valuable
Yeah.
that I think you're providing like this jumping off point for people that like, and then maybe they come here, they listen to this, and like the reason that we
Yeah.
did this was we were all kind of fans of Masonic podcasts that have already been happening.
Oh, absolutely.
And they did their own deep dives. So like for people who are interested in this, or you just listen to Andrew go over all that stuff and you have no idea what he's talking about.
What is a
That's
taxel?
the point.
What?
That's exactly the point. So good for you, man.
Yeah.
Because honestly, congratulations.
And to your
because
point,
it's going so well.
Kevin, you said that we, the three of us, were fans of the other Masonic podcast that had been going on before we started our own. Through TikTok, I have met and individually conversed with those quote unquote heroes of ours
Yeah.
that
that's
run
very
those
cool.
podcasts. In fact, one of them, Brother Juan Sepulveda, invited me on his podcast
Yeah.
to do an episode on marketing of the marketing of Freemasonry.
Yeah.
Right,
How that's a
right.
dirty word with some of the older gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thank all those guys. You know, Juan, Joe Martinez from the Masonic
you just
Roundtable,
met?
who I just met in person. That was an experience. He's intense.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
very intense.
There's a lot of energy.
Jason Richards.
Jason Richards, John Ruark, I only speak to through Facebook mainly, but RJ, he's another one that I've spoken to back and forth about tarot and all kinds
Yep.
of more of the esoteric stuff.
that's
It's
cool.
really cool, and for those who are passionate about our fraternity, I really hope that you put forth an energy or an effort to create something that other people can consume in a positive way, as opposed to in fact, other Masons have blocked me because I've called them out on some of their more controversial opinions.
So on TikTok, really quick, just for people who go and like all you have to do is type in Freemasonry or Masonic.
Oh, yeah, of
thing.
course. Yeah, all right,
So
that's easy to find.
would you agree the tip of the spear is Brother Fluff? You think? What do you think?
If we're going
Like
true Masonic content,
trying to hit like the granular. Hey, I heard this, and he's like, no. Hey, I heard this.
so
no.
there's three. There's
Yeah,
three
go
of them.
ahead.
He's definitely one of them, Brother Fluff. There's also he's got like 4 accounts now, but his name is Brother Tyler. He's currently the Worshipful Master over in New Mexico. He used to go by the name of Harpocrates. Now I think it's Broken Narrator, I think is his main channel. And there's the one that doesn't like me anymore. He used to go by the name Brother Widows Miho. I don't know what I think it's Modern Mystic Mason. That's his handle. But all of them are the ones that have the, I'd say, loudest voice
Okay.
The
on
main
TikTok.
debunkers.
Yeah, definitely Modern Mystic is the
Yeah.
biggest debunker of those theories. He's been
Okay.
doing it the longest. And I'll give him credit. Like, he's been doing it, and he just slams people, because most people just give him the same nonsensical, like,
Yeah.
oh, it's on page 320 something of Albert Pike Morals and Dogma.
Yeah,
No,
of
just
course.
shut up.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're talking about tip of the spear, those 3 guys.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So like I'm definitely still in contact with people who think, oh, TikTok it's either a fad or whatever.
Yeah.
It just isn't.
It's not.
It's
Yeah.
like there's no real platform anymore that's just out there for its own sake. People are using it for really well-meaning purposes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You
You
can
know.
take, even in other realms, like there's a creator called Under the Desk News. She does wonderful, like literally, she is what the news should be. She tells you what it is. She tells you the story. That's it.
Yeah.
There's no opinion piece. There's no fluff to it.
Right.
This is what happened.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Right.
She works for Merit.
Yeah.
There's obviously other creators that dedicate their time to their actual craft. Like there's a gentleman named Norse Forge, who's going through a bit of a hard time right now because his town actually is kicking him out of the space that he was using for noise variant.
Okay.
But like he was dedicated to doing silly like Skyrim recreations and actual forging of metal. So no,
That's kinda cool.
It's a legitimate platform that people can take advantage of and
sure.
use.
Well, that's awesome that you've been like real active on it. That's absolutely amazing that you've
I
connected
definitely
to all those people. That's really cool.
I have made friends, and Billy, as we have spoken separately, like one of the things that I would like to plan is the cave degree
Yeah,
because there's a lot of us.
I talked to
Billy,
our.
do this.
I talked to our senior.
Billy, do this.
What?
Just 'cause-
You guys are assholes.
video podcast.
We actually met. Who did we?
You're
meet?
doing a great job.
You met someone in Delaware when we went. We went
Yes.
to a really cool degree. I don't know if we talked about it with.
No,
with
we did not.
everybody.
We did not. Go ahead,
That
Billy.
was really cool. So a few months ago, we had the pleasure of going down to Delaware. It was summertime. And we saw a group of Masons from Oklahoma perform a Native American version of our Master Mason degree.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was really, 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 really cool.
It was really interesting.
A lot of subtle changes, a couple really big differences.
Things I wish we did.
Yeah.
In New Jersey.
Yeah, there were some things with the ritual. There were some things with like the ritual of the degree itself. Some things with the ritual that Delaware does that are different that we do. It was very neat. It was very cool to see how different states do their different things. I really enjoyed specifically the degree. But while we were there, to bring it back to the TikTok, Andrew actually met one of the TikTok guys.
Yeah, brother Big John. He's from,
Yeah.
I believe he's from Florida. He actually, I first met him because he was making Zippo lighters for Masonic creators.
Oh, that's right.
And he made me one. I
told me
actually
that.
also made one for Brother Moretti.
Oh, nice.
That his name on one side and then Lodge on the other with the square and compass.
Oh, that's so cool.
beautiful,
That's
beautiful.
very cool.
And meeting like that was the first experience of, aside from the ones in New Jersey, meeting a Mason in the wild. You know,
Yeah, I
quote
like
unquote.
those. Let's see. I'm trying to think of other stuff. So yeah, we did that. That was really cool. That degree.
We had our outdoor degree as always.
We did. Yeah, we had a really successful outdoor degree this year. We raised some guys. That's always a fun time under the candlelight.
And I think Kevin needs to speak on his title
Oh,
with his purple collar.
weren't you? Oh, yeah. So you know him
Do you
as
want-
a fellow of King Solomon,
Okay.
but Kevin actually got a prestigious title this year in our district. What was it, Kevin?
Yeah, so I am I'm very happy to serve as the district education officer
Woot, woot.
And we are very happy to see you, sir.
for
Yeah, absolutely.
for our little area of New Jersey, and it's a position that since it was created several grandmasters ago, that I just went, yeah, that's me. Like I really
100%,
wanted
yeah.
to do the job. And I can give you, as you might imagine, you try and work with the worshipful masters of the lodges in your area, you know, to organize things, to do some reporting, to promote programs from the Grand Lodge. I'm very happy to do those things. It's very cool. But one of the things that I'm finding is that it makes me work a little differently when I have to put a presentation together for myself, right? So
right.
there's a minimum standard of what I'm going to put forward every time. Like
Right.
I have to have sources. I have to have, you know, I'm doing this for myself. It's not like that's coming down from on high. But I have to
Okay,
have
I was gonna say,
sources. It has to be vetted.
Well, that makes sense, though.
You know, I have
you gotta-
I have to do some reading. For me personally, I use Apple Keynote because I think it's a wonderful program. So it looks like something, it sounds like something. The tone is really important. So the first thing that I would say is every brother should find a topic that they want to talk about and bring it to their lodge. Full stop. Please do that.
Yeah.
It does not.
I will
I
second
agree.
that, definitely.
I agree.
It does not need to be dressed up at all. First of all, I'll say also, if I can help you do that in any way, I'm very happy to do that, to just show you what I'm doing. But then once you're in there, you've picked your topic, you need to know something about your audience. Okay, so
Yeah.
inevitably, most meetings in New Jersey start at 7:30. With a meal either before or after. Hopefully, it's before.
Yeah, hopefully before.
I would say
Just
before
because-
for the most of the places I've been to.
People come from work
sometimes.
and whatever. And then you have them after the opening of Lodge, which takes about 15 to 20 minutes. You have them hopefully immediately as the professor.
Yeah.
The presenter. I have not slept
Prof.
in
Hey,
weeks.
Prof.
Yeah, my other life is bleeding into this one.
There's all one big lump.
So anyway,
Yeah.
so you have to know your audience, right? So, for example, it will happen every single time that I get up. I could be talking about rainbows and puppies. Someone will fall asleep,
Oh,
right? But listen, here's something I read that was really beautiful. It's like, you don't know what that guy's doing on a daily basis.
That's true.
Like, he's in Lodge. That's what matters.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
And like,
Okay.
it's not.
Don't
a
take
sign
it
of
as an insult.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, okay. So now
Or
that
try.
you're
Let's take it.
taking,
Right, well.
you're putting this content out there. I am, if there are themes that run through my head right now, the one that keeps the fire lit for me right now is take the high road.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
Right. So,
Okay.
in the last year, I gave presentations on rebuilding brotherhood. I gave presentations on civility, and they went in certain places and they used certain resources, materials, aspects of literature, theater, whatever you want, esotericism, sacred geometry.
I think, didn't you use the King Henry speech? Was it King Henry or King Lear?
Yeah, so there was one was from Henry V, I think, and then the most recent ones. One was from Sir Thomas More, and the most recent presentation that I gave on the winter solstice and rebuilding brotherhood used poems from Robert
I was
Frost.
gonna say I was there for
So,
that one. I'm like, you better say Robert Frost.
Yeah. I'm giving it again, actually, really soon. So
Nice.
It is something that it's the reason that I became a Freemason, I think, is to get really excited about a topic and to just talk with people about it.
Oh, absolutely.
And if I have any degree of comfort in front of a group, I'm capitalizing on that. I feel very comfortable doing it. I know for some people that is not their thing.
No.
But listen, everybody should have a reason to get in their car and come to Lodge, right?
Yeah.
That reason can be downstairs and could be fellowship.
Whatever
The
it
reason
is.
could be upstairs, and it could be ritual. It could be whatever you want to call it, right? But what it's not is paying bills
Oh, absolutely.
and doing
That is
the
such a
mundane business
trite-
of the
No,
Lodge.
it's not
Trite
just
annoyance
paying
with
bills
all
of us.
and arguing about how much money we spend on
Yeah,
cable.
and the
I'm very confident to say, as far as the 17th District of New Jersey is concerned, that is not how we do things anymore.
not at all.
No,
Absolutely
we have
not.
definitely
That is
prioritized
a,
the either the ritual of the degree that is going
Yeah.
on
I
or
was
whatever
gonna
the
say,
speaker.
That's important, but it's not the most important.
It has to be
thing.
done. It
Yes,
has to be
it is-
done.
It is in fact important, and it is taken care of, but we do not focus on it any
But yeah,
longer.
it's taken
It is
care of
not-
with prompt
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
issuance.
speaking of education,
yeah, man.
sometimes it's fun to learn.
Sometimes.
You guys want to play
Do you have a game?
You guys want to play a game?
Here we
I
go.
wanna
play.
We are back. Billy
yeah.
is back in action.
I'm
So-
ready. No, I'm
So
not.
we've been out doing a lot of stuff. So obviously, I've had plenty of time to think of some Masons. So I did that this morning at 7 a.m.
At 7 a.m. Jesus. Yes.
Well, I'm an early-
procrastination.
Well,
I'm
I'm
really
a-
sorry, Billy.
I'm
that
a-
you have
oh,
to
no.
go on a trip tomorrow.
Oh, don't.
I'm really sorry.
Oh my
7
goodness.
a.m..
I don't mind. I'm up at 5 a.m. every day anyway. All right. So I got 3 Masons. Masons like to do it in 3.
Excuse me.
Whoa, 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 whoa! It's not this kind of show.
So, in case
Used to be.
That's the other show.
So, in case everyone's forgotten, let me tell you the rules of the game. So, the name of the game is Who's That Mason? What I'm going to do is I'm going to give Kevin and Andrew clues, 3 clues that they get progressively easier as they go toward the answer, and they will try to guess. There are no points assigned. Nobody wins.
It's like Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yep, it's just a fun thing that we play.
It's all made up, and the points don't matter.
I personally feel like I win when they can't get them. So if anyone's going to win, it's going to be me, but otherwise. All right, so are you gentlemen ready to play?
Of course.
Name That
Yes,
Mason?
sir.
Who's
Do
That
this.
Mason? All right.
And by the way, since Billy is sitting next to me, I'm not looking in his direction, so I don't see the answers.
All right. So,
I am.
so this first famous Mason, his father was, his first name was Norman, and he was an attorney, restaurateur, and plastics company owner originally from Brooklyn.
His father's first
Yep.
name was Norman,
Norman?
a restaurateur,
Mm-hmm.
and a owner of a plastics company,
Mm-hmm. And an attorney.
and an attorney.
Yep. No? No?
I've got nothing.
This Mason, he has actually been made a 32nd degree Scottish Rite Mason. I'll give you that little clue. Has a initiative named after him that is a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization that helps teaching civics to American public education students.
Can you read that again?
This Mason has
Initiative.
has an initiative that is a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization that aims to revive the teaching of civics in American public education.
I didn't know that this person was a Mason. I will be absolutely surprised if this is correct. Who is Richard Dreyfuss?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Wow.
We're going to need a bigger boat.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So that was gonna be my last clue was
We're going to need a bigger boat.
no, who drives the boat,
Oh,
Chief?
oh yeah, Hooper.
Hooper drives the boat, Chief.
I'm really sorry, Billy. They didn't get that far.
Oh no, I said it anyway. So
Oh, my
we're
God.
good.
This is bad.
So this is
Yeah.
so I have kind of a theme about our 3 Masons tonight, and this is the first one.
It's all
Gotcha.
fish. No.
It's all fish. It's all about giant killer fish.
Yes.
So Richard Dreyfuss was actually made a Master Mason at site by the Grand Master of Masons of the District of Columbia at the Washington D.C. Scottish Rite Building, as well as a
I knew I
32nd
liked
degree
that guy.
Scottish Rite Mason. That evening, he was already supposed to, but that evening he gave a speech at the banquet celebrating the 200th anniversary of the Grand Lodge of D.C. And he also spoke about the Dreyfuss Initiative, which I said, and I'll explain a little bit more about that. So the Dreyfuss Initiative itself, the Dreyfuss Civics Initiative, is a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization that aims to revive the teaching of civics in American public education to empower future generations with critical thinking skills they need to fulfill the vast potential of American citizenship. So basically, what Richard Dreyfuss is trying to do is just teach people how to be proper people in the world.
Right. Full citizens.
And it's really disappointing to me when I was doing this research that is something that's lacking
Oh,
in
absolutely.
our country.
Now, could you guys take civics when you were in like middle school?
High
Somewhere around
school.
there?
I had to wait till high school
Okay,
for
so
civics.
they offered it when I was in middle school. I was
Yeah.
going to school in Virginia at the time.
Okay.
But you had to pick if you didn't want to take band, you could take civics.
Civics.
And I was like, well, you know,
I don't want to be a better person.
Why
I
is
want to
that
play
the choice? How is that the
that
choice?
was that's
That's
what it was.
so weird. All right.
This
let's-
is what-
I don't
this
think
is
we
what
had
people do
civics.
with
We
children.
had JROTC. I don't think we had civics.
We had civics as an elective on our junior year.
Yeah.
So Richard Dreyfuss was born in New York. He was the second of 3. He was born to Norman Dreyfuss, as I said, who was a very busy man. And Geraldine, who was actually a peace activist, much like my own mother, who was a bit of a peace activist in her time. He was raised in Bayside area, Queens. He is of Jewish descent from immigrants of Russia and Poland. His father really hated New York, and he wound up moving the family to Europe and then eventually to Los
really?
Angeles. He had a pretty long career, pretty He did a lot of. I mean, it's Richard Dreyfuss. I mean, Mr. Holland's Opus.
You don't
know?
have to
Never
name
mind.
it all. You
Never
don't
mind.
have
Never
to.
mind.
Yeah,
No.
I know.
So here's.
We'll be here all night
here's
just on him.
No. I have to say it.
Close Encounters.
Leo Marvin's a genius.
Leo Marvin's a genius.
Baby steps. Is this corn hand shucked?
What About Bob is absolutely one of my all-time favorite
God.
movies.
I am
how's
so
your
lost.
vacation on Fire Island?
This is no longer a Mason show.
This is the
This is
best.
now a pop
Yes,
culture.
that's right.
Just a.
This is Dreyfus Cast.
Yeah,
Bill Murray
Bill
is
Murray.
always lurking under
Yeah.
the surface.
He actually did time on TV first before joining films. He was on Gidget, which is the one Gidget, Gunsmoke, and Bewitched are the three that really
Oh my God.
like in my head. He actually his first time in a lead role was a Canadian film, The Apprenticeship of Duddy Kravitz, and then he went on to do like Jaws, and
Fantastic.
he won
Very
a bunch of stuff. He is the shortest actor to ever win the Best Actor award and for the Academy Award, and he still to this day holds that record. He is 5 feet 4 1/4 inches tall.
Okay.
He's as tall as my mother.
Yep, he was the youngest at one point, but Adrian Brody beat him out.
Cool, man.
All right, so you guys ready for the next
That's
one?
a good
this.
start.
All right.
All right, so this Mason, this is an old timey guy. That's your first clip. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, that narrows it down.
This famous Mason, unfortunately, I'm going to start with a sad one. He died in prison at the age of 46 of meningitis.
He died in prison of meningitis at 46.
Yeah, I'm not talking about why he was in jail, so don't ask.
Oh.
Kevin will know when he finds out the answer. Anyway,
Okay.
you may know too when you find out the answer. All right, number 2. He became a spokesperson for the new study in his time of aestheticism, and he became a very outspoken spokesperson for the story for
Aestheticism?
Aestheticism, yes.
And he,
Aestheticism.
What? Aestheticism.
what?
Okay.
Yeah, no, keep going.
Oh,
Give
I
me
thought-
the easy
I
one. That
thought
one.
one would give you would probably find this famous Mason with his true self's portrait on the wall of his home.
Self-portrait?
Yeah.
See, now I can't think. I'm thinking like Van Gogh or.
That may have been too. All right. He wrote the portrait of Dorian Gray.
Oh, I don't know that author's name.
Oscar Wilde.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So
Okay.
A little bit about Oscar Wilde. Really revolutionary.
And he was a Mason.
He was, he
Yep,
was a
okay,
Freemason, yeah.
okay.
But this is, I said, there is a little bit of a theme of weird things about the Masons that we're doing tonight.
Okay.
So he was raised on May 25th, 1870. He was born in 1854, first of all, and he died in 1900 of meningitis, like I said, in prison. 46 years old, which is really sad. He was raised on May 25th, 1875 at Apollo University Lodge number 357 in Oxford, England, but then he was then demitted for non-payment on January 22nd, 1883, and because he died incarcerated 17 years later, he was never able to re-up. So, like I said, he wrote the portrait of Dorian Gray,
Yeah.
personally one of my favorite novels.
It's an interesting story.
Incredible reflection in literature about how to look at yourself and how to try to be true to your ideals and the people around you. It's just, it was an idea when he wrote it that really wasn't spoken about. It was all about, especially since, and I find it kind of weird, being an outspoken proponent of aestheticism where the looks of something are more important than the actual inner value of it. It was weird to me that he would write something like this because I don't know if he actually realized the significance. I mean, he had to. He was an incredibly intelligent man of having a portrait that was your inner self that aged and decayed while
Oh, he knew
The
exactly what he
outside-
was
yeah.
beautiful. And, you know,
That's to me, it comes across like Kafka with the Metamorphosis.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
know.
100%. I'm sure Kafka may have taken some of
Right.
the
Well,
ideas.
Okay,
from
so but
Wilde.
you have to remember he's a product of his time.
Yeah,
Right?
that is
in
also
Victorian
true.
England,
Yeah.
a very well-to-do person.
Yeah,
Of course, Freemasonry
especially-
would come into
Oh
to his
yeah,
circle,
absolutely.
Yeah.
right?
Well, yeah, that was like the flavor. You know, you did that if you
even
were
Mozart
Yeah.
in Germany was the same thing. You were just part of that circle. You were part of this lifestyle.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
So the other thing that Billy alluded to already is, he struggled very much with his sexuality.
Yeah. Yep.
And
Like I said, I don't
not
wanna
struggled.
talk about him.
He didn't struggle. He was very true to it.
Yes, he was
However,
very true to it.
The government.
being a student of asceticism and knowing what keeping up appearances
And
can
classicism.
do, literally crushed him.
Yeah,
as a
he
person.
couldn't do it, and
Really?
eventually they found
So-
out and they persecuted him
So
for it.
I'll give you an image because this particular actor is a huge modern proponent of reviving the works of Oscar Wilde. He quotes him all the time.
Okay.
All of his stuff that's available online is, somehow Oscar Wilde gets woven into it, and that is Stephen Fry.
Oh yeah,
really?
absolutely,
Stephen Fry
100%. Yeah.
adores Oscar Wilde.
When I was
Wow.
researching Oscar
If
Wilde,
he-
he kept popping up, and I'm
So
like,
if he-
"Come on, Steve." let me-"
First of all, Stephen Fry is the Oscar Wilde of our modern time.
I would say, I
but
would
if
agree.
you look at Oscar Wilde, they look similar. It's very scary.
Oh, I gotta go
But
back and
also,
look at the picture.
Stephen Fry is very much proud of his sexuality. He's a gay man,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Oh, I didn't know
So, but then consider this is where we get to geek out a little bit.
Right.
You remember the movie V for Vendetta?
yes.
Okay, who does he play in that movie? He plays the guy who's got the room full of things that are protected, like he has a copy of the Quran.
Oh,
Yes.
And the character that he
yeah.
plays is gay. Like all of these things,
Yeah.
right? So like he deeply, deeply admires Oscar Wilde.
Yeah, that's great.
Now I have to go deep dive into Stephen
Fantastic.
Fry.
Oh,
so,
Stephen
like,
Fry.
to make things even worse for him, his parents were like Anglo-Irish intellectuals in Dublin.
Absolutely.
So you know
Yeah.
that was like, oh god, here we go. He was led by his two tutors towards aestheticism, Walter Potter and John Ruskin, and he studied at Trinity College in Dublin, and then he went on to Oxford, where he then Apollo University is in Oxford, obviously.
Right.
So that's all right. Nice.
Actually, that's one of the things I learned
1 point for me.
in the documentary that was on Netflix, Inside the Freemasons, that one of the things the British, the UGLE, the United Grand Lodge of England, does is they have a lot of programs in universities. So it is truly a fraternity where you
Like a
will
fraternity.
get the college students joining for a fraternity standpoint, not so
Correct.
much the esoteric end of it.
Correct.
All right, you guys ready for the third one?
Yeah,
Let's do
man.
this.
All right. This famous Philadelphia Mason,
It's Benjamin Franklin.
you're a jerk, became most known for his role in the musical comedy Poppy.
Poppy. How recent is Poppy? I'm
I have no idea.
I'm not telling
Is
you.
Is this PAPI? Is this a Latin?
P-O-P-P-Y.
No, Poppy like the
Poppy,
seal.
like the Poppy.
I thought it was like Poppy.
No, not like our.
All right. This famous Philadelphia Mason was an American comedian, actor, juggler, and writer.
Red Skelton.
Nope. Good guess, though. Good guess.
Oh, no, he's not a Mason.
Go ahead. Take it again.
I was going to say Penn Jillette, but he's not.
No.
He's not a Mason.
I don't know if he's a Mason or not, but that's not who it is.
He's not. I know he's not. He's an atheist. He
Don't brag.
wouldn't.
Don't brag. JK, I'm kidding.
No,
No?
I
No
got
guess?
nothing. No. Mm-mm.
All right. Better known as his first name, W.C. Blank.
W.C. Fields.
Yeah, that's the answer.
Real? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Listen, this is a good one. All right. So he also.
Kevin is giving you the dad stare right now. Like, give me information.
You don't know W.C. Fields?
I mean, I know that the guy has a name that's W.C. Fields, but
Oh, okay.
that's where
Oh man! So, being that my father's family was from Pennsylvania, Philadelphia specifically.
Okay.
My grandfather loved W.C. Fields. He was like a vaudeville Pennsylvania world superstar right before World War II and everything.
Okay.
So that was, if you were going to watch a funny man, it was either the Marx Brothers or W.C. Fields in my house.
Wow.
So he was born January 28th, 1880, and he died December 25th of 1946 of alcohol-related gastric distress. Legit. I don't know what that's about. But
I'm not familiar.
Very sadly, he was throughout his career an alcoholic. That was
a lot of the guys.
That was just kind of like how it was. You just drank because that was the thing to do sociably. He was raised in Copey Mitchell Lodge, number 605 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and he was raised on May 20th, 1907.
I wonder if that's part of the Grand Lodge. Physically part of the building.
Copey, maybe.
Because they're similar to New York, where like the one building has like multiple lodges in it. So I wonder if it's actually in there.
He was then suspended for non-payment of dues on December 16th, 1924.
Is that the theme?
That was it. It was Masons under weird circumstances.
Oh, okay.
So
The first one was made at sight.
Right.
And the last two never paid their friggin' dues.
NPD. And you would think that a famous rich person would just pay their dues.
No.
Like, what were they, $1?
No.
You know?
Mozart, I'm absolutely certain Mozart didn't pay his dues.
Oh, yeah.
Mozart probably had people pay his paid his dues.
No, well, he
fiduciaries.
did. No, but he didn't. He definitely didn't, because he'd get paid for a gig and then blow all the money.
Oh
the
yeah,
same
like
day.
immediately that night. Yeah.
He was not good with
that
the
was
money
his jam, man.
Yeah.
He loved to. I mean, he couldn't hear anything when he.
Well, that's Beethoven.
That's
Beethoven. Oh, whatever.
No,
That's all
Mozart died young. What was he, 35?
Stay in your lane, Billy.
Fair enough. I can't argue. So W.C. Wheels, W.C.
Wheels?
So his
Billy, what's in that cup?
just coffee. So his real name, I don't know if I said it, William Claude Dukenfield.
Dukenfield.
In my opinion,
How Pennsylvania Dutch?
I was talking to my wife about this. Why change it? Why be tough? Dukenfield. What a great name.
It's too many syllables.
Who's gonna forget that name? No,
It's too many syllables.
100%. Especially in the 1920s when you're trying to like make a name of yourself and stuff
yeah.
like that. So he of course began in vaudeville. That's what you did back then. He was a juggler. His persona was a misanthropic and hard-drinking egotist who remained a sympathetic character despite his supposed contempt for children and dogs. And if you ever watch any of the W.C. movies, he hates children and dogs.
Okay.
Like, cannot stand them. I can understand.
That's his character.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there were, because of his drinking, they said that later in life they found letters, and there were people that attested that like his character became more of his persona than he would have liked to have admitted. Mm-hmm. So, like, I don't know. He never had any children.
Wow.
I mean, maybe that was part of it, but he actually, a lot of the stuff, he started in silent movies in the early, 16s. I said Poppy. He became a star. That was a musical named Poppy. That was 1923. And he then went on to do some silent movies. He reprised his role in Poppy for a silent film, and then he started doing the newer,
movies?
talkies. They called them talkies
yes.
back then before they just called them movies. So one of the things that I found really funny, that Fields wore a scruffy clip-on mustache in all of his silent films, according to film historian William K. Everson. He perversely insisted on wearing the conspicuously fake-looking mustache because he knew it was disliked by audiences. I love that. I love that kind of that Andy Kaufman-esque humor.
Yeah, that very much is.
Yeah, it's more for himself than it is for anybody else. So some of his famous movies, My Little Chickadee is my favorite one. That's like the funniest one in my opinion. And The Bank Dick, of course, is another one. He plays
Bank Dick.
He plays a drunk bank detective. So it's really funny. Like, he's trying to find the money and he completely stumbles onto the crime. It's one of the
Okay.
Man on the Flying Trapeze, Never Give a Sucker an Even Break, It's a Gift, and of course, like I said, Poppy. He was born in Derby, Pennsylvania. His father was a working class man from England. was another thing that was really crazy. So his father, James Dukenfield, served in Company M of the 72nd Pennsylvania Infantry Regiment in the American Civil War, and he was wounded in 1863 and retired from service.
That's cool.
That's really cool.
So they've been,
Yeah,
they're
that's
old
cool.
they're old time settlers of Penn.
So, yeah, 3 interesting Masons under interesting circumstances. We don't normally hear about people like that, like I said, being suspended for non-payment of dues and being made a Mason at first sight. So that was kind of something I wanted to talk about. I wasn't initially going to pick Dreyfus because I saw that he was made a Mason at first sight. And I said, that's like a little weird. We have to go through the rituals and everything.
Oh,
and
how do you feel about that?
yeah, and I was going to ask
Bring
you
that up with
guys-
Brother Shaq.
So yeah, well, he was another one and I found that out later too. And I wanted to ask you guys because I am curious and I do have questions. So
Even what's the senator here in New Jersey?
there's another one.
Menendez.
Oh, he was the same kind of thing when he was made on site.
Most worshipful Roger Quintana made him a Mason on site.
Oh, all right. Well, that's okay. He's a Cuban guy. I can give him a pass. So
Based on that alone, that's it.
yeah, that's fine. But I wanted to ask you guys. Yeah, what do you think about that? Do you think there should be so? Let me tell you my thoughts. Well, hold on. Let me tell you my thoughts, and then I'll ask you the question. So this is my thoughts, and this is where I come from. So I'm not saying like, oh, you should have to do the thing. Blah, blah, blah. Like I'm fine with someone becoming a Mason on site. So this is what I would like for someone who becomes a Mason on site. I would like them to at least have to take the tests. Like you can study, take as long as you'd like, but I would really like them to do
The catechisms.
the catechisms because I feel like in just learning that you find an interest and you would want to learn more about what it was that you didn't actually go through. You know what I mean? And then that would give you a jumping off point as to like what is this? What does it mean? And then you a little bit more. I just think that it's very nice. It's a very nice thing to do for someone, and it is. But I think you're almost taking away an experience that I disagree with someone doing that. I would say I'll make you an entered apprentice on site, and then from there you got to get the rest of the way. But I don't know, that's where I'm coming from. So however you guys, whoever wants to go first.
So, all right. So I'm kind of torn with this. As the same way, I'm kind of torn with like the 1-day degree, the 1-day classes.
Yeah. Yep. That's the same thought.
So I'm going to use Brother Shaquille O'Neal as an example because I think he deserves the title of being a Brother Mason. He is an exemplary man. He has donated millions to charity, even if he had some family problems with his ex-wife and things like that, and like divorce and whatnot. It's that definitely, it's accepted, it's known, but it is not overshadowing everything else that he's done in his life and all the charity and the help that he's
100%.
done. So I agree with you, Billy, where the individual that is now chosen to become part of the fraternity as a gift should still at least view the degrees.
Yeah. Yeah.
And possibly go through the catechisms of each. I hope the individual is willing to say like, "Hey, no, I want to experience it," because losing the initiatic experience is, it definitely you lose the message. I
Yes.
think there's definitely a loss in translation there.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
But I don't want it to mar the image of an individual that has been chosen by a grandmaster because of their exemplary service to whatever, become a Mason on site.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, like I would absolutely walk up to Shaquille O'Neal, give him the grip and the word, and say, "Hello, brother, how are you?" And he would know, because I know he takes it seriously. Has he been through the degrees through Prince Hall? I don't know.
I don't know.
I would hope he has done his homework.
or at
though.
least seen them.
Right.
I mean,
I would hope he has done his homework. That's all. That's really all I can say.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yes. I'm sticking to my story. So, district education officer.
Yeah, brother Connor.
Speaker from the Grand Lodge. No.
Yes. One who will carefully dance through the minefield of language to describe my opinion.
Sorry.
All right. So, this is the equivalent of, like, one of the most political Masonic questions.
Is it really?
Oh, it's absolutely polarizing. This is up there with like abortion and like
I can see
you know,
it though.
Do you know what I
can see
mean?
it.
Like
yeah,
it's like this is one of those.
You have
things,
one
like,
stance or the other.
it's
There's
a-
no in between.
There's no gray area.
Yeah.
It's well, you know, so here's what I'll tell you. First of all, you know, I've participated. Andrew has participated in one day degree, you know, to
Yes,
be
we have.
conferred titles. It's just in that sense, it's the way it was done, and you take it as it is.
Right.
To jump off of Freemasonry and to use a similar situation in academics, universities award an honorary doctorate.
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Okay,
Same
so
kind of
now,
thing.
but here's the thing: that person doesn't leave there after they've given their speech and whatever, and you know, start calling themselves doctor.
Oh, absolutely
Yes,
not.
and start
Like,
prescribing
they totally-
medicine.
Yeah,
and,
they totally don't. But what we're saying is, you are now a Mason.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm hopeful for, and this is my very careful answer, that whoever that Grand Master is, whoever that Grand Lodge is, that jurisdiction, they've done their due diligence in saying, hey, we would like to recognize you. One of the ways we can do that is by making you a Mason at site, which means you would be a Mason, right?
Right.
You'd be a Mason for the rest of your life.
Right.
Until you get kicked out for non-payment of dues.
If you're even chosen to pay dues.
Yeah. Mozart.
It might be one of those honorary things where the Grandmaster says no, he doesn't have to pay either.
Well, I'm not talking about
So,
that.
Yeah.
so
talking
you know,
about the money.
I've got to. I'm just going to go on the assumption that the due diligence is going on.
Right.
Honestly, there are so many moving parts in that it would be hard to say. Here's what I will say, just and not giving away names or anything. A couple of the brothers who went through one-day classes to become a Mason have expressed regret.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Of,
I can-
I mean, they've been Masons for years.
Yeah.
They're excellent Masons, I will say. They are absolutely excellent Masons. They're mentors. They're leaders. They're past masters. They're right worshipfuls. They're all kinds of things, right? But they have expressed regret in that they didn't. Their whatever choice led them to going to that one-day class is something that in the short term felt good, and in the long term they get reminded every time they're standing in lodge for another degree.
That's
Right.
kind of
So-
like a little kick in the shin. That's what I'm trying to avoid.
in that sense, I look to one-day Masons or one-day Masons. Well, you know what I mean. People who have been made Masons at site and all that stuff, and hold them a little closer to let them
That's a
know
good
that
idea.
that
That's
they
a good
are.
frame.
You almost have to be a mentor in a way to them, in the respect of you're hoping that they take the title that was just given to them, the honor that was just given to them,
You know,
seriously, and it's not just something else that they're throwing on their wall.
So the
Right.
yeah, and the think of the way we open a lodge.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there are modes of recognition that if you want to know, you should become a goddamn Mason.
Yeah, you goddamn it.
Ooh, secret stuff. Yeah. So nobody in that lodge is saying, "Hey, when, how?"
Right.
Like
right.
you're a Mason, right?
Right,
Yes.
it's true. No, it's very true.
And the only thing that you have to do is you know, prove amity, right? So that's it. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right, I
You
just
know,
like I said, I just
it is
feel,
a bit of a bit of a touchy subject, just like
Yeah.
the one day classes. And I mean, Kevin, it is very much a political subject, not only in Masonry, but I believe sometimes it is a political move on the Grand Master's part to induct someone as a one day Mason.
I sure hope not.
Yeah, me too.
I hope not,
hope
but I
that
bet you it
person-
happens. I bet you it happens.
You know, let's just say whatever merit that they think
Yeah,
that they're honoring
let's
by
hope
doing
that
it.
it's-
Let's
yeah,
say
and
that
for
that
good
person
reason.
has it in their heart to be a Mason.
True.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know, you can't. If a senator wanted to make the time, they would make the time.
Absolutely.
But a senator may not be able to make the time, right? And they could say, "Hey, look, you know,
Right.
my dad was a Mason, or whatever."
Right.
You know,
Thanks for the honor.
right.
right?
Well, I wanted to mention that about Richard Dreyfuss is he's actually like a participating,
Yeah.
you know, active Mason.
Oh, he is.
Goes and
Yeah,
he
nice.
goes to lodge and everything like that. So he, you know, he has his thing going on. and I come from a place where I don't look at it politically. I just look at it from we have each gotten to go through a once in a lifetime experience, and I feel bad almost that they don't get to.
Yeah,
do
it's
that.
definitely not a gatekeeping thing.
Like,
it is you
get
missed
to-
out.
You get to see it, right? As a Mason, you'll get to see it. I don't even know, many dozen, two handfuls of dozens of times. You'll be able to see the degrees.
Oh,
But
come now, Billy, not 3.
maybe 3. I only got 2 hands though. But you only actually get to do
A
it.
baker's dozen.
A baker's dozens of a dozen. So you only actually get to go through it and be a part of it the one time, and that's like everyone who is a Mason, that is to me not only does that connect us, it's the literally the one thing that all of us share is our process through the degrees. Whether you were one day, whether you were on site, it's that we've all been able to go through the degrees, and I just feel bad if you get that taken from you, whether you realize it or not. I just think that would be something that you wouldn't want to deprive someone who wants to be a Mason of that experience.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So,
okay.
what do you got?
Go ahead. Well, I mean, I have 2 books for individuals if they want to read anything
Oh,
about
yeah.
Freemasonry. But Kevin, I see you have your laptop open. Is there anything you would like
So,
to speak about?
so I just going off the tail end of what you were just saying. The thing, that they missed out on, in a sense, they don't miss out on when they're in lot. I mean, they are brothers, right? So, and it sounds so trite to say it that way, but the thing that all brothers provide for one another is brotherhood.
That's
right?
very true. Yeah.
So that's been one of my real big things lately. Is like, are you doing that? You say you're doing that. Are you actually doing that? Right? Because that brother that you don't want to hang out with, I don't care.
Right.
Like
Yup.
are you? I mean, you're
Joe Martinez had a great line
Yeah, go ahead.
when he presented here 2 weeks ago. He said, "I don't have to like you, I have to love you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
You're my brother.
Yeah.
I don't have to like you. I'm not going to hang out with you.
Right.
I'm not going to converse with you for whatever the reason is.
Right.
But you're my brother.
Right.
I have to love you.
Yeah. No, that is intense. I mean, it's beautiful and it's simple.
Yes.
And you know what? I think that that extra second of people asking themselves, "Am I doing the right thing? Right? Is this in the best interest of all of us? The people that are in the room, the people that it involves, the people who will never meet us. Right? Is this what it is? Like we are expected to do that. That's the bare minimum.
Right.
Right?
Bare minimum.
Bare minimum.
Yeah, it is.
So I think that the 1 day class thing. Obviously, this is what or made a Mason at sight is what you're saying. That person is owed brotherhood, and if they don't get it,
Yeah, that's shame on us.
we should
Yes.
find those people. Then you're making a
Shame
list.
on us for not.
Yeah.
So I love books.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
could talk about books,
Tell me what to read.
So listen, one of the things that I
and
see
then
on
I'll tell you what I've been reading.
Oh, Jesus. All right, so I have the simple version because I am a simple reader. But one of the things that often gets asked on TikTok, aside from the multiple conspiracy theories, is, and how do I join, is what should I read? Now, you'll hear a lot of Masons parrot the line, you shouldn't read anything, you should just go in completely blind, and because you don't want to ruin the initiatic experience. But
Oh, we're talking pre-Mason.
pre-Mason,
Okay.
pre-Mason.
Okay,
The
so
not
profane.
yes,
listen,
yes.
listen up, you profanies.
The profane. As silly as these titles sound, they are not meant to be derogatory toward the reader or listener. Is both the Freemasonry for Dummies and the Complete Idiot's Guide to Freemasonry, both of which are great.
I liked Freemasonry for Dummies.
I have them in print and I have
Yes.
electronic versions. They are wonderful.
Both of those 2 books are great sources of general knowledge about the fraternity. You can easily get them on multiple book sites anywhere. One that may be a little bit harder to get is the Red Triangle. which deals with Freemasonry in World War II. And the other one
Bible,
is
really?
by illustrious brother Arturo de Hoyos, 33rd degree. He's the grand historian for the Southern Jurisdiction Scottish Rite Masonry. It is called "Is It True What They Say About Freemasonry?" And you want to talk about bringing receipts to debunk the various conspiracy theories? This man has put in so much work. I want to pay him myself.
Stop it.
It is in such a small book what he provides, the knowledge of where the conspiracies come from, where those individuals got their information from, communication with those various individuals that made them.
Really?
It's a wonderful book. It's relatively inexpensive. I think it's maybe $25.
Is he still the librarian for the George
Scottish
Washington?
Rite. No, Scottish Rite, Southern Jurisdiction.
Okay.
Can you,
Because I know his name was tied in with the George Washington Monument in
Yes.
Alexandria. As well.
And for those of us in the 17th District of New Jersey, he's going to be giving a
Oh
presentation
yeah.
Ooh, what is that?
next month.
It's
very cool.
Thursday, February the 23rd.
Can you put
I will
and I
invite
know
you.
that because everything in the entire world is happening on
that
that one
day?
day.
Oh, jeez.
Can you put the books?
I will put them in
underneath?
the. I will put them in the description.
links below?
Yes, I will put them in. We do not have any kind of Amazon affiliate links. I will just link them below for you guys out there who may be interested.
On the below.
Yes, Kevin.
Yeah.
What are your very special books?
So,
Pew,
so
pew.
the really, the stuff that I've been reading lately has been a little heavy lifting, but it's important and it means something, and it's what you know how people because this is America, right? So and we have absolute 100%. Codified knowledge of what our founding fathers wanted. We know exactly what they meant when they wrote things, right?
This is not a political show, Kevin.
No, but we also pretend to say the same thing about Freemasonry.
We do.
All right, but there are a couple things that we know. People who were the first speculative Masons, who were very well-to-do members of society throughout time and all that stuff, they were very well-read people. And they were largely products of a liberal arts education, a classical liberal arts education. They spoke Latin, they spoke Greek, they spoke and wrote in Latin.
Right.
Going back to Oscar Wilde, the classicists.
Yes,
And for those of you who remember your fellow craft degree, you know that we were given our homework assignment there, and that should keep you busy for the rest of your natural life.
Chug-a-lug.
Because they did it.
Yeah. So I have been reading to go way back from the beginning of the thought process, Plato, and reading the Republic.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. That is some heavy lifting.
And sort of doing a dive there, reading the Republic, taking those themes, and then going to Eastern philosophy and reading about the Tao.
Oh.
And,
Taoist culture and
My
wisdom.
contact lens is now going to take a jump
Aw.
in the middle of this, and what are the things that unify Western and Eastern philosophy, and how does that apply to a fraternal experience? Why would you
right.
ever want to read that as a Freemason? Those sorts of things,
But that makes perfect sense in my mind.
Yeah, honestly. I mean,
seriously.
it absolutely, it really does.
It's-
So then most recently, spending a lot of time with Carl Jung.
Oh, yes.
And
he's heavy and brainy.
going to him specifically and not trying to read other people's interpretations of Carl Jung, and then that includes some readings to go all the way back to one of the earliest philosophers that we know about, Heraclitus.
Oh, wow.
And then bringing it back to more modern applications. So, like, it's about. There's a really great statue that these guys know about, and if you can Google it, and it comes up, and it's great. But it's a statue of a rock, an unfinished rock at the bottom, and then as your eyes go up the statue, it forms into a man, right, a person who is also the builder and is carving himself out of the rock.
Yep.
Right. So that is the work. Those are things that are very familiar. Those are very Masonic, basic Masonic concepts that all brothers should be familiar with. These things come from somewhere, and I have no problem interacting with those subjects as long as when I do, I get to share it with somebody. Not to say that I know what I'm talking about, but like I want to know. And if I go into the cave for a little while, and the analogy of the cave, but if I go in there and I try to come out with some understanding, I feel an immediate responsibility to share it with people.
Oh,
so
yeah.
so that's the kind of reading I've been doing.
You
So,
want to avoid the curse of
you know,
knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah. When
Exactly. So you cannot. You can. Yeah.
It's a serious thing.
You
It is.
wish you could go back to not knowing.
Yes,
Right. Because
absolutely.
when you do know, you accept that responsibility.
Yep.
So listen, these things are by no means easy things to do, but they're important
Suggested
things to do.
Light reading.
I'm a person who loves audiobooks, and I listen to
Same.
stuff in the
Yeah,
car
very
all
much
the
the
time.
same. Yep.
And I want to call up just the kind of stuff that I've been
Oh,
reading,
jeez.
because it really is great. So there's the most recent one was a book called Atomic Habits, it's been a multi-million bestseller.
Okay.
Right. It's in over 100 languages and all kinds of things. It's really wonderful, and it's about breaking down what you do on a regular basis and why and how to streamline that and all these things.
Oh, okay.
And then to go back to Stephen Fry for a second, I know I've mentioned it here in the past. Stephen Fry wrote a number of books about Greek mythology.
Yes.
And around ancient Greece. So Mythos was the first book that he wrote.
Okay.
And then there was another one that he wrote called Heroes, which is about demigods and human characters. And then he wrote a really long one about Troy, and he breaks down the entire history.
So kind of like
the
how
Battle of
Neil
Troy.
Gaiman did. Neil Gaiman. Did.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
American Gods. Well, I mean that was a story of his, but
That's pretty cool.
And then the last thing that I'll recommend to people, and I will read the poem because I'm not getting out of a podcast episode without reading.
we
the
have
poem.
to.
Yes,
And
sucker.
So there's a book called The Art of Possibility, and it's written by a guy named Ben Zander and his wife. His wife is a family therapist, and he is the conductor of the Boston Philharmonic Orchestra.
Jeez.
And he's on TED Talks and all kinds of things.
Okay.
But the whole thing is about what is possible. If you think about that, it is not a naive subject, right? It's not, and we in this modern world can be very jaded.
Oh God,
and
yes.
think because and meaningfully so. I say that because it's just too easy to do, to be pessimistic. It's
Stop
far
looking
too
at me
easy.
like that, Kevin.
No, I'm just you know what I'm saying. Like it's
Who you call pessimist?
it might be half full or it might be half empty, but if you're thirsty, you're going to drink it.
It's still half.
you know.
Either way, it's half.
Yeah, you got to be
That's
a
the thing.
realist.
So those are my books right now, and I'll look for what I need to look for. But that's those are the things. And God, I would love to talk to anybody who's interested in reading stuff. So we'll post some stuff up and
Yeah,
hopefully
we'll definitely put it on various social medias and whatnot.
I actually have a couple books. They're not Masonic, but they are really good books. Right up my alley. And if you were alive in the 80s, you might actually find them interesting. The first one is called Console Wars.
Oh, okay.
It's a book. It's basically about the battle between Nintendo and Sega.
take my money now.
Right. Yeah, about Nintendo and Sega in the 80s and the
Take my money
advertising that
then
was
and
used.
now.
Yes.
And yeah, 100%. One of the things from the book that came to mind was my all-time favorite slogans, just real quick, that Sega came out with when the Genesis came out. It was
Sega.
the Genesis does what Nintendo don't.
Nice.
Like it's such a
Nice.
great.
It's
It's like a
shots fired.
it's
Absolutely.
such a genius slogan.
So
And,
capitalism.
the three body three body problem.
Ming has never Googled things faster.
Genesis does with Nintendo. Yeah, he put it. That's one of my. I will never forget that one. And of course, the guy screaming Sega all
Of
the
course.
time. That's like. And then the other book I'm reading is The Three Body Problem, and that is about the fall, believe it or not, of the video game industry from 1979 to 1982, 83, thereabouts.
Yeah, right.
When they finally came back, Sega, Coleco, and Nintendo really saved video games. So those are
Coleco, really?
yeah. Coleco was a big player back in the day. They were
Wow.
they were one of the first companies to build a home console. So
True. Yeah, I didn't think of that.
so yeah, that's what I've been reading, and that's the kind of stuff that I'm like I said, if you guys know me, if you don't, I'm a gamer, but I like to see, everyone will say, oh, what do video games have to do with Freemasonry? And believe it or not, if you look at it, it's the stories.
Yeah, absolutely. The hero's journey.
As time has progressed, yes, you very much see the hero's journey. You start seeing decisions that you make in life and that were taught in Freemasonry. You start seeing them reflected in the things that you do in these games, and it's interesting to see how the storytelling and the technology progresses and how it becomes more fluent and how you actually become the storyteller and then you get to shape the story as you're going. And it's really like a test to see how your decisions will play out.
I could not agree more.
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely you're
Just
spot
stop
on.
talking about Mass Effect.
Yeah.
I was actually
All
kinda,
the BioWare
I
games.
was
and all
actually
that
kind of
stuff.
referring to Fallout, but
Okay,
whatever.
same concept.
I know.
No,
it's all the same
but
thing.
listen, to go back to the proto material, any way that you can engage with the hero's journey,
Oh, absolutely.
you
100%.
are
Absolutely.
you are
Yep.
growing as the person experiencing the story.
Yes. Yeah.
Like that's it, right? And it's the hero. The hero of 1,000 faces. Go read that book.
Yeah.
There's
Good
more
book.
books. The Power of Myth.
All right,
Joseph-
quick.
Joseph
Andrew,
Campbell.
stop us before we keep
Yeah, I know.
keeping
We're going
going.
to keep rambling. And
We're gonna
this,
keep
this
handing you
episode's
guys
going to go
books.
on too long, and I'm going to be paying for more hours here.
Okay, so
So-
can I jump in and
You going to read the poem?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
Sure.
All right, we'll finish on Kevin's poem.
Okay, so this is something that I came across, and I was so happy that I did because it speaks to taking the high road, right? I remember reading this in high school, and I hated it. I hated everything about American literature back then, and now I can't stop reading the stuff. So this is Emily Dickinson, and the poem is "I Dwell in Possibility." I dwell in possibility, a fairer house than prose, more numerous of windows, superior for doors, of chambers as the cedars, impregnable of eye, and for an everlasting roof, the gambrels of the sky, of visitors the fairest, for occupation this, the spreading wide my narrow hands to gather paradise.
I remember that poem
Yeah, me
from
too.
American literature.
Yeah, I remember that from school. I absolutely, the end specifically.
Yeah, the spreading forth of my narrow hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody is in that poem. Mm-hmm. Every person on this earth
On this planet.
is in that
yeah,
poem.
absolutely represented.
It's a beautiful thing.
And on that note, we're going to end tonight's show. Once again, excuse me, I didn't mention this, but we are back at a Shared Universe podcast studio. The man behind the curtain is the one and only Ming Chen.
That's right.
Thank you for
Bless
hosting
him.
us, sir.
Praise his name.
On your world travels,
Yes,
finally a
yes.
stop in New Jersey for us. Thank you.
Welcome back, gentlemen. Always great having you guys.
There he
here.
is. I hear
Always,
the voice.
always.
But on that note, I am Worshipful Brother Andrew Tello. As always, my co-host, Brother Billy Bilbo, Brother Kevin Cotter, and you have just watched another episode of The Extended Branch.
Bye. Thanks for watching, guys.
Bye-bye.